latest ITV news in the Calendar region with Ian White and Laura Rostron.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to ITV News and to Friday night's calendar.
Hello, these are tonight's main stories.
The missed opportunities to save a Leeds student's life.
He packed into 26 years what I would dream of packing into my 57 years now. It's just a shame he's been deprived of
his future.
The future.
A coroner concludes that David Nash would likely have lived if he'd been given a face-to-face GP's appointment during the pandemic.
A coroner has ruled that a student from Leeds who died after 4 phone consultations with his GP during the pandemic would be likely to have lived if he had seen a doctor face-to-face.
David Nash's parents, Anne and Andrew, say they're both saddened and vindicated after his inquest heard that a failure to arrange an appointment in person was a missed opportunity. He was eventually admitted to hospital but died 2 days later.
Mr Nash's GP practice has now apologised to his family, but they fear their son's case could just be the tip of the iceberg. Michael Billington reports.
A talented musician, a wonderful son, brother and friend, and a huge character. But the calls to his GP for help in the final days of David Nash's life reveal a patient in serious need of medical intervention.
I've still just got a temperature and now I've got these really bad shooting pains up the back of my neck and in my sinuses. Pretty much every time my heart beats, I'm getting these pains. I'm just not sleeping with it, and I'm just not myself with it.
This was the 4th and final phone appointment with David's doctor at Burley Park Medical Centre in Leeds before he was admitted to hospital in November 2020. He'd been complaining of fever, neck stiffness and headaches. In fact, he had a serious bacterial infection which went on to cause an abscess on the brain. David died following surgery which might have saved him if he'd had it sooner. This inquest has heard evidence from 2 key medical reports. In a statement, Dr Alistair Bint, an expert in general practice, said this was a patient that needed to be seen in person. Had he been seen in person, it seems likely to me he would have been admitted to hospital. He added it's likely that would have happened some 10 hours before David was actually taken to St James's Hospital. Meanwhile, a report from neurosurgeon Simon Howarth, who investigated Mr Nash's death, concluded on the balance of probabilities, had this intervention been 10 hours previously, his death would probably have been avoided. Today, a coroner ruled that the failure of a nurse practitioner to arrange a face-to-face appointment was a missed opportunity.
As a family, we have been devastated by David's death. We in turn have spent 2 years seeking answers on his behalf and to make sure that others don't die as David did.
Tonight, his family say they feel vindicated by the ruling, but for David's case is far from unique.
The one thing, outcome we would have liked is David back, and we were never going to get that. And if a positive can come from this inquest, it's to highlight the jeopardy of not providing necessary face-to-face GP appointments. And my understanding, we've been contacted by other families that Dave is not alone in this.
The practice has now apologised to David's family, but they say his potentially preventable death has left a massive gap in their lives.
He packed into 26 years what I would dream of packing into my 57 years now. It's just a shame. Where I feel desperately sad is for his partner Ellie, because she had all the years ahead planned with him.
Yeah, it is a really sad story. David's parents, Anne and Andrew, ending that report, and Michael Billington's with us now. Michael, What's the GP's practice had to say about this?
Well, as I mentioned there, they have apologised to Mr Nash's family, who gave us those phone recordings today to give us an idea of just how unwell Mr Nash was. They've also accepted the outcome of the inquest. Now, in a statement to the court today, they explained that because of the pandemic, at the time of Mr Nash's death, they were only seeing between 10 and 20% of patients in the flesh. Now, that has now changed to as many as 8 in 10 appointments, which are seen face-to-face. The Leeds Integrated Care Board, which oversees the GP's practice, said, "We do acknowledge that a face-to-face appointment may have made a difference to Mr Nash's condition." Now, the family have since said that they're relieved that changes have been made, and they hope that potentially preventing other deaths in the future means that they've done their son justice.
Michael, thank you.